So we're live on YouTube, so any conversation we're having will be heard by people watching on YouTube right now, just as a
We're very excited to hear us.
We are live on YouTube.
we have no participants in the room yet.
I'm concerned that we haven't made the direct link so people can get plugged in. I think I'm sorry I didn't think about including it at the tail end of my spiel, but
Well, they're still watching. It's probably just about ready to end. So don't panic yet.
let me know when I can panic.
Okay. I'll get back to you, Mike.
So we might, once we go live, we might want to just wait a few minutes, and you can, it might be good you announce we're just going to wait for a few minutes for people to join, and then we can kind of get going from there.
Sure.
And Mike, you're going to share the Find Waldo in the Community message?
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right, I'm going to hit the broadcast button, people. So,
Okay.
How do I get out of seeing Brian Levitt's screen?
Just change your view.
View options again.
Okay, what shall I choose? It says zoom ratio, annotate, side-by-side mode. What are you guys on?
Fit to window.
Anybody?
Eve, I have mine on fit to window.
And we have,
Huh. I just keep seeing Brian Levitt's screen. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Doesn't anybody have anything interesting to say?
I think we're being recorded right now, Eve, so maybe not right now.
Okay.
we have a few participants in the room, and we're just waiting for a few more to join before we get started. And if you're just joining us, we're waiting a few minutes for more participants to arrive. We do have people joining. Okay, we have a few participants. I think it might be good for us to get going. Mike, do you want to start?
Okay, well, welcome to the a slightly different version of our fireside chat, where you saw the recorded program that hopefully was providing a lot of information and insight into things. And then we wanted to offer this section, which would give us a chance for a little bit more interactivity to answer questions. So we've got all the experts we could round up here who could answer questions that you might have. So we're open for that discussion. And please, I think, Brian, can people just either raise their hand or they can use chat? How will they best get their question across?
Sure. They can click the raised hand button at the bottom of the screen, or they can click the Q&A button and type in a chat.
And Brian, I am only seeing our panel. I'm not seeing any of the other residents. So will that be the case when a question is asked?
Yes, the residents don't have a video.
Okay, gotcha. Do we have a shy audience?
Any questions from resident participants, either on the fireside chat or any other topic?
Or just chiming in about how you either liked the approach to the fireside chat or it wasn't your favorite? Or it was your favorite? Peter, I think you're probably the expert at doing these kinds of hosting chat sections, so I may need to seek your advice here on how to enliven participation.
Well, I guess we fully satisfied the information need.
I would love to believe that, Peter, but I'm just not confident.
Okay. Oh, folks who are attendees, it's a really simple thing. We've had questions in the past, just type it in. I know there was one that was very helpful the last time around where one of the attendees asked about what's the exact process on recycling the directories that we are going to be recycling, and we got an answer right away. So it's easy to do it, just type it in, and we'll answer as best we can.
Brian, I just noticed that we had one resident who was chiming in that they were unable to click on the link to get into this. So I'm not sure if that meant that they are participating in some other way, because they got through via a chat.
Yeah, that's from Kerry, I believe. And I didn't have any trouble with the link. But maybe on the resident side, it was more difficult for some reason. I have no idea why that might be the case, but Kerry is a very reliable reporter and he's quite competent to do all these things.
So we are getting some questions and comments. We do have if the panelists, if you click on the Q&A button, it'll open up the box so you can see the questions, and Mike and Sandstrom likes those glasses better than your Waldo glasses.
Okay, well then that's it. We're gonna stay with the regular glasses.
We have to look both at the Q&A function and the chat function. It can come either way.
Brian, are you seeing any questions? I don't see any questions being posed.
No, I do not see any questions in the queue that are open.
And Carrie Krensky, are you on now? I see that you had trouble getting on via the link, but you're on via your iPad. Is that correct? Okay, I see you said yes. And Brian, is there any way to identify who is online? I don't see them on my participant list. So,
Mike, if you switch to the part of the participant list that says attendees.
Okay, all right.
See the names of the folks who joined
Great.
us.
Okay, so we've got Ann Sandstrom, Bonnie Miller, Beth Davis, Carrie and Darlene, Mary Mullen, and Schulmit. So for those of you that are on, what did you think of the Fireside Chat this go round? Any of you can answer as you would like. No, Bonnie, I don't see your faces. I only know that you're participating and that you are typing in a question. And we have about 6 people, I think, that are participating, Bonnie.
I'll ask the attendees a question. Who had trouble, aside from Kerry's report, getting in via the link that was published in the alert? Just say I did or I didn't.
Oh, Bill Roach joined us. Well, this is one of the drawbacks, of course, of doing a Zoom type Q&A. It's a lot easier when you're in the room with everybody and you can see people's eyes and you can see the question on their face before they even ask it. But we don't have quite that benefit now, so we're trying to make the best of a limited situation. I see Ann Brand has joined us. And it looks like Bill has his hand up for a question, as does Ann. Trying to make the best of a limited situation. I see Ann Brand has joined us.
Hi, Bill. Can you ask your question?
Can you hear me?
We can.
Yes.
Well, I have a suggestion, and that is that in the future, give us more, give us more in.
I think we just lost Bill. So we'll move and recognize Anne.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
I just really wanted to compliment you on moving this process forward each time. It's difficult to do, and I know you're not getting much feedback, and I don't really have a question related to content. I just wanted to thank you for continuing to try and making it better each time.
Great. And we'll continue to make every effort we can to make it easier for people to plug in. I know that sometimes when there are multiple ways in which you can connect in, it can sometimes be more confusing than clarifying. So we'll do our best to be as clear as we can.
And maybe on occasion, if you could consider having a little snippet offered by one of the trustees, it might be a good idea.
Sure, absolutely. Yep.
In terms of the mechanics, Shulamit suggests sending out an email in the morning of the Q&A that follows the fireside chat or follows
Sure.
the fireside chat,
Sure.
rather than people having to go back and find what they saw before.
Yep, I think that's a good point. We will do that. Ann Sandstrom, I just know you have a burning question in there somewhere.
Brian, Shulamit is talking about some discontinuity between the Zoom and the 370, I think, referring to channel 370. Does that mean something directly to you? I'm not quite sure what she's getting at.
So there's a delay between them. So you usually would only want to be on one at a time. Because we send a signal to YouTube, which is about a minute behind the actual Zoom meeting. So when you're in a Zoom meeting, it would be best to turn off YouTube or channel 370 while you're directly in the Zoom meeting.
I see a message here from Carrie who said that the link online alert from the alert, I guess, works. It's the video link that is failing. Not sure I know exactly what that means. Brian, do you know?
I'm not sure. We'll have to look at where the link is.
So the link in the online alert works. The quote video link is failing.
So I'll have to look at that. I don't have an alert near me at the moment. So
okay.
I have another observation if you have time for it.
Sure.
I was sitting at my computer and I had the YouTube, I just dialed in YouTube and the broadcast began ahead of the time. So it took me a long time to figure out how to sync the video, the audio with what I was looking at. And in the process, I got shunted off into another Fireside Chat, which was a very religious program. So I had two soundtracks going at the same time. So something happened. The YouTube event actually started a good 4 minutes before. Now I know you had it synced in at the appropriate time, but it was a very interesting process for me to figure out how to get out of one and stay in the other one.
We'll have to check on that. I see Ann Sandstrom's question is, how do we see the participants? I think Ann should be able to see the panelists, those of us that are here to answer questions, but you can't see the other participants. They are not via video.
And do you want to confirm that you can see the panelists, those who have their video on?
This must have been a little bit like what it was when we had wireless crystal sets back at the beginning.
Right.
Trying to connect with Cincinnati and so on and so forth.
Okay, well, I'm thinking that unless there are questions or other people that are joining, that we're probably ready to sign off for today. Bonnie says, I only see the person who is speaking.
And that is how the webinar is designed. It highlights the person speaking so that they are who is being broadcast.
Okay. Bill Roach says that we need more training on how to get in. Also, the link is split between 2 lines and must be consolidated on 1 line in order to work. Okay, that's good to know. And then he's also saying that the program was wonderful. That's good. I will say that, there's a lot of effort that goes into creating this, the least of all of which is my effort. Everybody else does a great job putting things together and thinking things through that we want to be doing and getting it filmed. So what we're trying to do is make it so that it is both informative, it's a little bit fun, there's a little bit of a theme to it. Those are things that we can make happen when it's a live performance, but we can't do it as easily unless we kind of think it out as we've been doing for videos. So it's a different approach, but we're hoping that we keep people's attention, we give good information, make it a little bit fun. And I just want to recognize all the people that have in our team that have been working extra to make it all work. So I know that Peter knows all about this. He needs a crew to help make his thing work, and we do too. So thanks for everyone's help.
And I would add that in spite of the fact that there were some technical difficulties, I would urge the people who are attending in the form of coming in as attendees on the webinar, spread the word to your friends that that's the only way you can ask questions. And in the future, consider doing that. You get a good opportunity to interact with the panel, and you can't do that if you're just watching HHTV.
Right, good, thanks for that. Okay, well, we will do our best to kind of tighten this up for next time, get the word out to people, as Peter's saying, so that there will be more and greater participation. And we'll do our best to make sure that some of those links can get tested in advance so that we're certain they can work and that people can be included. And if that's it, unless there's anything anyone else has to offer to the gang, I'd say we've covered what we're going to cover today. All right. Thanks so much, and we'll try to keep inching forward, make it a little better every time. Okay. Yeah.